everyone. Welcome back to Video Games Are for Boys. We're back with episode 4. And look, what a wonderful number 4 is because we have our fourth co-host with us today. As a reminder, you got Shell So Random, Zombie Senpai, and Milla Minute. It's been a minute since you were here. I would love for you to introduce yourself to everybody before we get into today's episode.
Hi, yes, thank you. My name is Milla Minute. I am a cozy variety chaotic streamer. I do a lot of, fun gameplay in The Sims, Disney Dreamlight, but I'll also go on the opposite end and do Marvel Rivals and Fort. So I have a very kawaii aesthetic. I love pink, and I like to bring that into my streams. And play games with my kiddo too. 6-year-old. He's fun teaching him Rivals.
Awesome. We're excited that you're popping on in, and hopefully the audience can give us a little grace for getting everything kicking off with all 4 of us, but we're very happy to have our foursome, which I've told y'all before. Please don't get any sick, twisted ideas, okay? Last time we were talking about doing things in our gaming, whether it needs skill or just vibing out. And then we also talked about in previous episodes who allowed us to create this mess, thinking about builds and mods that make our games more exciting, especially if they're creation simulation builds or creation simulation based games. This week, we're going to be talking about games we've played instead of going to therapy. So you should connect with pretty much every gamer out there.
Yes.
In the vein of that, how are each of my co-hosts feeling today? Let us know.
I am doing
Okay.
great.
Silence.
I'm doing great.
Crickets. I'm gonna drop crickets into this.
I was like,
sound.
wait, how am I doing? I'm doing great. I finished pretty much a lot of things. So like my energy is like down from that, but I'm going. So
How about you,
I'm
Mill?
okay. I'm okay. I'm a mother, and that comes with challenges every day that you don't know. It's my first kid, right? So there's you just figure it out and you keep going. And you make sure
Trial
you
and
eat
error.
when you shower, and that's a good day if you did that for yourself.
That part.
Yeah.
How about you, Zombie?
Doing all right. I'm here. Ready to talk about today's topics,
I'm so comme ci comme ça, using some of my French that I never used after years of studying it. I'm just so. I'm a little tired, but we will persevere. So before we get into our first segment, I just want to preface that if anyone who's listening or watching us tends to get emotional from sad or emotionally charged stories, please grab some tissues, It's okay to cry, but we want to be mindful that you might feel a little teary-eyed listening to us today. It's definitely important for us to talk about games that have emotional storytelling because there's so many variety of games. So I'm excited for us to get into today's topic. I would absolutely love for us to kick it off with I thought it was just a game. Moments that wrecked us emotionally when we were playing a game or when we got exposed to a game. I know that my co-host I think all of y'all have played South by Midnight. I
South of
unfortunately
Midnight.
South
South of
of
Midnight.
Midnight. I'm always swapping the of and the by. I don't have a Windows, so PC, so I haven't gotten to play it yet. But y'all can totally take the lead. I have seen so many folks stream it and also a lot of really great reviews, and I can't wait till I can actually play it as well. But I would definitely love for either one of you to kick it off with the game that emotionally has wrecked you.
Yeah, so South of Midnight, like I figured it was gonna I had a hunch it was gonna get to me because it's like the first RPG I played with a Black female as the lead, the main character. So I was like, okay, it's gonna get to me. And my family is from the South, grandparents, my dad. So I was like, okay, there's a geographic tie. And I got sucked into that story, and it was such a beautiful depiction of like healing from trauma. And
Mhm.
yeah, me and my community, we were all just messed up from it, but it was so good and just so rewarding in the end when you finish the game. I won't spoil it, but like, oh, like beautiful. Yeah, and it was crazy because the main character, her name is Hazel, and that was my grandmother's name. And my family's from
Mhm.
like that area. I think it's Mississippi. It's a county in Mississippi. And I was like, oh, this is getting eerie and like too close to home.
Yeah.
And yeah, but just done in like this magical, what do they call it? Magical realism way. And like
Yeah.
that was so healing. And like I loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree. I can piggyback off of that one. I think I wasn't ready for like the Southern folklore and
Mm.
grief. I think it was a lot of it because I haven't been in California in like so long. So I moved from California uh to all kinds of states actually right now. But most of my family are in California. But my great
Mm.
grandma and my grandma are from the South. And with when I say South, like with the F, okay. Very, the dialect is very Southern. So, like, and, like, with some of the characters, like, even, in the beginning of the older woman, like, she was, like, having gizzards, and I was like, "Oh my god, I just told my grandma," like, adding gizzards and greens and stuff like that, and it was something like, I really do miss them, and it
Mm.
it brought me, like, a lot of, like, emotional, like, ties to that because, like I said, I haven't seen them in over 3 years. So, but, with that story, it did remind us that there was like a lot of deep roots connected
Yeah.
into this world that needed to be
Yeah.
healed without cleaning those deep roots, like your trauma won't be. And it's like a lot of
Mhm.
family stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God,
Mhm.
what is that? I didn't
Yeah.
ask for therapy for this. So, so it was like really emotional for me and my community. And I was like, guys, I'm trying not to cry. It was like, it's okay. I was like, no, I'm a thug over here. Make me cry. So like, but no, it was really good. I think that's where it wrecked me emotionally.
Yeah, the
Aw.
generational, like, trauma and healing, yeah, it not passing it on, like, that one got me. It's like, I don't wanna pass my trauma on to my kid, and, like, Hazel and her mother's relationship, oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. To wear something else?
Claim was mine.
Whoa!
Not too shabby if I do say so myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa.
How about you, Zombie? Was South of Midnight also for you?
No, South of Midnight was not for me. I figured everyone would talk about something extra deep and heavy. And I actually came with a more lighthearted one.
Mhm.
For anyone that's played the lovely visual novel game Dream Daddy, uh, I had gotten it in my head that me and Matt were going to skip off into the sunset. Matt is the dad that owns a coffee shop. And, we're having deep conversations about his late wife, about his daughter, my daughter. We're doing the weeds together. We are, we're bonding. And then at the end, he was just like, I don't think I feel what I thought I felt.
Ooh.
After getting the goods, by the way. And then was like, I don't think I felt what I thought I felt. And he told me this at my daughter's graduation party. And
This is
I
a
was like,
game?
it is Dream Daddy. And
Wow.
you would think it's just a fun game about dating single dads, which it is. However, those endings, those endings on that game get crazy.
This is some bullshit. I'm sorry.
But
So many questions.
I did not make enough points on our dates to actually be in a relationship with him. So then he basically took his feelings back.
What?
I have not gone back to the game. I have not explored any other endings because I was that's not true. I explored one other ending. That ending was also ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So I am just as bad at dating in games as I am in real life.
Oh my-
Is what I got from that, and I don't know if I'm going back.
This is crazy. We
Who wrote
have.
this game?
I'm feeling whiplash right now because first we had South of Midnight talking about breaking generational curses, the familial ties, and the history in the South, and blackness, and your Creole-ness, and all of the other like mixtures of identities that can come in forward for Black people in the South, and then Dream Daddy over here breaking hearts because you ain't giving him enough of what he need to say, I want to be with you.
Yeah.
That feels emotionally like
Oh my
what is
God.
it? An emotional terror, emotional attack. Like, I don't know.
Emotional roller coaster, yeah.
I just think
Um,
that's so unfair. Why would they create a game like that as well?
I don't know, but I was excited about it
Entertainment?
when I started, and then I was like, yeah, we're gonna skip off into the sunset after this graduation party. We're gonna hold hands under this cherry blossom tree. And then he's like, sits me down to have this talk about how he just wants to be friends. And I was like, I'm actually getting up and moving again. Because you start the game off moving into this part of this cul-de-sac with all the hot dads. All the hot dads live in the same cul-de-sac and hang
Wow.
out together. But so after that, I was like, I'm actually moving. Wherever my daughter's going for college, I'm just gonna follow her because this cul-de-sac, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I don't want to live here anymore. I don't want your coffee. I don't want anything. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah. I, mm, I don't like this game. I'm definitely not playing this because
You
it's
should.
giving
It's
me
so
I
good.
don't want
Love
to now.
Island vibes. This feels like Love Island vibes. Like, oh, we're
Yeah.
together. We're in a couple.
Yeah.
We're in a couple.
Yeah.
We're in a couple for 4 weeks, and then a bombshell is coming, and they connect with me better. I'm dumping you. Like that's what it's giving me.
Clark.
What? What?
Oh my God.
Taylor!
It's a match. Congratulations, Clark and Taylor.
You have to get certain levels because they grade every single date you have. So
man
all
made
the
this
way
game.
from S plus down to like F minus. They
Stop
grade
them.
every
Oh my-
date and
The
then
man
add
made
it up.
this.
You get 3 dates.
Oh.
And if at the end of those dates you do not have enough points, you are not getting the man. And it is
Aw.
absolutely heartbreaking. And then for anyone who does go
Oh,
check it
God.
out, there are lots of emotionally charged endings, but also for my girlies that like, or anyone that likes a little bit of creepy in their games, there is one ending that is super creepy, and
I'm scared.
as soon as you see the lineup of dads, I know that you're going to immediately figure out who has the creepy ending.
I was expecting our emotions to be on the sadness spectrum right now, but like
I
I'm
know.
feeling fear. I feel afraid.
I had to make sure we had the contrast. We can't just start off the podcast being like, here's all the sad and this is all you're getting. I am the comedic relief. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
I couldn't give us another sad one.
I can feel that because weren't you the one talking about if you were into all kinds of weird animations from Wicked Whims last episode that you're cool with it. You might even let Peeping Tom watch you. Yeah, so I can see how
Oh,
you're
yeah.
bringing
Oh.
in this dream daddy nonsense. But if
Girl,
y'all are
get
into
help.
it,
Not playing.
y'all are into it. Be into it. I guess I could go ahead and drop mine because we went from, oh, this is incredibly sad and deep and go to therapy and, oh, fix all that trauma from the generations to get jilted by a man you spent all this time building a relationship with because you missed it by 2 points, 3 points. All his scorecard keeping of whether or not you should be with him and any other dream daddy in the cul-de-sac. That's insane. And a man made that game. I bet you a man made that game.
I think so, possibly. But also, it's fine. All of the absolutely crazy things that I love the drama, the just storytelling that goes into dating sims and stuff like that. But am I going to let people treat me like that in real life? Absolutely not.
Right.
It's fine. Go ahead, Simmer.
Mine isn't. I don't think mine's on either end of the spectrums that we just covered because these are fictional freaking characters. But I think I'd mentioned in previous episodes that I do love Final Fantasy, but I only played 8, 9, 10. I skipped over 11 through 14 because I don't like MMO. I didn't like the mechanics of the fighting sequence for a lot of the ones in between. And then when 15 came out, I was like, this is me, she, her, let's get into it. And I'm just vibing out in this game. I'm like, oh, you can drive around and look at the views and shit. Oh, we got 4 homeboys. They're going to save the world. Oh. And then you get to the end. And again, for those who have not played, this is a spoiler alert for you because I love to give you the spoilers because the end is what fucks me up, okay? Like with Arthur, don't get me back on Red Dead Redemption 2 either. But in Final Fantasy 15, the boys have to sacrifice themselves, or at least the one of them, in the infight and die to save the world. And I'm just like, but they're so young, and they just fought all these critters and monsters. And in order to save the world, I was deeply hurt. I was just like, oh my God, are you serious? No.
Yeah,
No.
that's
I
sad.
literally was sitting here like, can't
You're
we just beat
attached
a
at that
monster?
point.
Exactly. Can't we just beat a big boss and save the world?
Antagonist. He's sympathetic, but also just a straight up monster. A man cheated and cursed to become the embodiment of all evil in the world. He could kill Noctis at any point in the physical realm, but that would rob him of the one chance he has at a proper death. And so Arden lets Noctis be swallowed up by the crystal and patiently waits for him to re-emerge, so that he can properly kill the chosen king at his full strength, exterminate the light completely, and deliver his full vengeance on Somnus' legacy and the gods above, or be put down by Noctis and finally die trying. Fated or not, a godless, kingless, lightless world is what Arden seeks, and for 10 years, that is exactly what he gets.
Why do any of them have to die? And my character, or the character that has to die, was very keen on like, yeah, I've made peace with this. I'm going to do it. And I was like, that's so fucking mature because they were supposed to be like teenage boy age in this version of Final Fantasy 15. I was like, damn, that's so mature of a young man to be like, I'll sacrifice myself. That's not connecting to reality today because half of you motherfuckers don't want to sacrifice yourself for your damn families, let alone a loved one that's like not blood related. But yeah, I was just like, wow, that's so deep. And it was the first time for me as well as to why it was just like, this makes me very sad because I've played so many other Final Fantasy iterations that, yeah, we're just going to beat the boss at the end and save the day and save whomever was dying or save whomever was interconnected, psychologically connected to the monster who was running and ruining everything. And this was just like, no, you don't get a happy ending. You get a sad one. And then you know
Yeah.
what fucks you up even more is that when you go through the cutscene and the credits, you get to just drive around. And I think they did that for those of us who would be
Oh,
emotional, like, damn. Like I
the
was literally sad,
process.
still driving around looking at the I'm like, oh my God, you really just you did. You're so young. So
Yeah.
that one
Yeah.
got me. I was not
Mm.
expecting that. I was not expecting that at
Yeah.
all. And whatever team from Square Equinox or whichever developer puts that one out, like they did their big one to actually make it a little bit more like elevated, mature thinking versus like the
Mm.
previous ones that I had played, especially. So that one emotionally wrecked me next to Arthur and Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that I secretly am going to want to see if I can find Dream Daddy on Steam for Mac. Don't judge me because I kind
No
of want to see if
judgment.
this is out. And then I
I need
have
to
to
know
get
this too,
South of
actually.
Midnight at some point.
If you do, I need to know who you end up romancing first.
Mhm.
This is it's feeling a little bit like Date Everything, except I don't feel
Yeah,
like your
yeah.
appliances would reject you like a single father or whatever Dream Daddy men are.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no. Date Everything, like everyone loves you in almost everyone loves you in Date Everything.
Mm.
In Dream Daddy, like everyone starts out pretty friendly, but like which is why
Lies.
when you get to the end, like that's so crushing because you're completely blindsided. You didn't see it coming at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm,
I feel like that's
I'm curious.
the similarity you and I share on our choices of like, I didn't see this coming. Now I'm not emotionally
Mm.
prepared after the
Mm.
investment we both put in.
Mhm.
You with your daddy that you was, romancing, and me with my 4 homeboys and 5 Final Fantasy 15 ready to save the world.
Also still upset about Arthur from
Red
your
Dead Redemption
story.
2.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
just from your story, I feel like I knew him, and now I feel bad that all that happened to him.
See?
Yeah.
Listeners,
Yeah.
please don't judge me. I tried to find a second one, but I really wanted to put Arthur back up again. See? It hurts when you build your character up or build up a rapport, like you know this person, and then they gotta die. That's some
Mhm.
bullshit. But
Yeah.
to Shell and Mill's points, like
Mhm.
I think being from the South as well, I would love
Mhm.
to play South of Midnight because
Mhm.
of my family's history and heritage. And I'm literally
Mhm.
back in the South, which I never thought I'd live in the South again at this big age. I also too was in California, Shell, but I'm in Florida. And there's a lot of things that
Yeah.
come up for you when you do come back to like a home base. So I can definitely
Mhm.
understand that level of processing for anyone who has Southern ties in their family through
Mhm.
South of
Mhm.
Midnight. I also appreciate the game from y'all's perspective and others that I've heard from or
Mhm.
seen them play with the fact that it's core centered around Black identity as well, which we don't
Mhm.
always get a story arc that's focused around that too. So thanks for
Yeah.
sharing. Hopefully,
Yes.
listeners and watchers will either go pick out these games and play them, or if you have played them, please let us know in the comments on YouTube or on Spotify or whichever place you're listening. Which of the 4 or which of the 3 that we just shared have you ever played? Will you play? And if you have played, was there any type of emotional feeling for you towards the end? Moving through today's emotional storytelling and games that we played instead of going to therapy, another context to think about this from is character connection. Like, what are some favorite characters that we like clocked or identified with before devs probably even considered like this is going to be a character that people are going to connect with the most? I'm
Mhm.
happy to start because mine is probably gonna be a little strange.
Okay.
Because the character was a human. And I'm still trying to process that for myself. But don't get it twisted, those who are listening and watching. It is not freaky. Stop it. It's emotional.
Yes, it is.
But so one of my favorite RPGs, open world RPGs, is Dragon Age Inquisition. I played it on. I'm sorry, y'all. Montgomery, get your ass out my damn. Yeah, I can hear you. You want to come in? Is you gonna be
At-
here for the whole episode? Damn, come on.
At this
Just like a
point, we're
man.
just gonna have to get Montgomery a seat.
Exactly.
Oh,
All right. You want to
Oh.
be here for this. Y'all can see we're back with a fifth member. He's not permanently going to be here, but this is Montgomery. He is not the character from my game, but I will talk about that since he's in my lap. So, the character from my game that I wanted to talk about is Dragon Age Inquisition. And I'm big on when I'm playing RPGs, whether or not I can find, for the characterization when you're getting to make your character, the hair, the skin color, blah, blah, blah. I need to see something that I feel connected to as a Black identifying cisgender woman. And so when I do find something in a game, I'm like, yes. But this time I didn't pick a human. I actually picked what's called the Quinari character, because you can pick 4. You can pick to be a human, an elf, a dwarf, or a Quinari. And I was like, oh, I like the horns coming out of the head. And like I can pick different colors and their facial structure, which I don't know if this was a dig at non-white humans from the developers or not, but they had facial structures that I felt I've seen in Black people across the diaspora. And so I picked the Quinari, and I actually made mine more green. And she was woman identifying and very tall. And I just got really into her. And it just made me super excited to play her versus playing a regular human or even an elf or dwarf, because I generally will pick those options in other games similar to Dragon Age Inquisition. And when I played her through the whole gameplay, like I felt like a badass. And I also was able to connect because, for those who don't know it, rather, in that game, you have different worlds or parts of worlds you're traveling to as the Inquisitor. And there's a lot of things in there: religion, otherism, all of that. And so, like, when she would connect with people who weren't human, I was able to vibe out and they would tell me shit, give me the hookup. Whereas if I was a human, they wouldn't have been fucking with me. And that really connected to me, especially as I'm someone who gets deep into stories in my RPGs. And I was like, fuck yeah, I like this. And then at the end, a non-human saved the world, bitch. Okay? Another saved the world.
Hey, let's go. It's all about the aliens. I'm not playing.
So, what are some of y'all's for characters you connected with immediately in a game?
So mine's similar to yours in that you create your character. I'm a Disney kid, adult, whatever. So Disney Dreamlight Valley, you make your own character, and there's so much customization. It's wonderful, and like they really did, and they keep adding more where you're able to really make it you and express yourself in whatever colors, skin, like just whatever outfits you can like everything, customize your clothes. It's very cool. You can get just stuck doing that for a while. But the thing about your character that like when you start playing this game, spoiler, you there's a mystery to it. And essentially when you get through the first, I'd say the first chunk, the main game, because there's DLC now, but when you get through that main part and complete that story, you realize that the valley was tied to you and your childhood, and it was basically like your childhood self feeling like it was forgotten, and so all the characters and like their memories were erasing, and so that was like part of what you were fixing, was that like your reconnection to your childhood and your childhood self thinking it was forgotten and lost, and like reconnecting with it, and it's literally like this creepy mirror image of you. I don't know, it's like a weird purple, black, green eyes thing, but it's your silhouette, your hair, your whatever. Like it's a mirror of you, and you reconnect with them and you heal them through the game and all the
Mm.
quests and bringing all the Disney characters in and restoring their memories. It's beautiful, but it's cool to see it like played out as close to you in Disney form as you can get, right?
Yeah.
And it just the whole theme of like healing your inner childhood and reconnecting to your childhood self and knowing that that's okay to do that. Like, I don't know, as a millennial, I was like, oh my God, we were all messed up. But
It's
in an
giving me
incredible way. Yeah.
Maleficent vibes. Maleficent, isn't
Oh,
that the movie? Mel, Mel,
yeah.
Mel,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
It's
connect into
definitely
the
like,
valley and so forth.
yeah,
Yeah.
you were the ruler essentially, and you'd forgotten and you'd grown up. And it's like you
Mm.
have to go back and rediscover and reconnect everyone and bring them back to the valley together. It's beautiful. It's
Mhm.
you
I
wouldn't
feel
know. You
like
just
we
think,
need
oh,
that more.
yeah, we do. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
as we get older, little kids have it made, baby. Like we're just in our own worlds and like, oh, yeah, wow, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we get older, bills, relationships, the
Yeah.
societal structures that are incredibly harmful and persist
Mm-hmm.
even to this day of us as a generation compared to our parents and so forth. Like all of it is just like so much, and you can lose sight of like that joy and childlike joy, even, or
Mm-hmm.
just embracing
Mm-hmm.
things and not allowing all of the ugly that can exist in the world to consume you and
Yeah.
make you a part of it. Like it's really
Yeah.
hard for adults to do that. I mean, that's why we have so many shitty things happening in the world in general, because
Yeah.
there's not enough connecting back or reflecting back and
Mm-hmm.
actually trying to like see something good in yourself so that you can like
Mm-hmm.
purge out any of
Heal.
the influence.
Yeah, and
Yes.
heal.
The
Yeah.
healing.
Yeah.
I think people forget that. And I think as gamers, we get to have that connective tissue, regardless of what type of style of games we play or what type of streamer we are. Like, we ultimately are always healing our inner child by continuing to play games. So I
Absolutely.
Yeah,
appreciate that
absolutely.
share.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
briefly touch on that. So my return to gaming, because I had gamed as a kid and took a long break, thought I had to grow up, whatever. Came back to it when I had my son, and he was going through cancer treatment as
Mhm.
an infant, and we were just stuck in the hospital for months. Like we made a whole little dorm room out of it. And I came back to gaming at that point, partly out of boredom, but also because I was isolated. I need something to bring joy. And I started playing Mario Kart a bunch. And even he was little, but he would watch me and we would, he tried to start figuring out how to race in Mario Kart. Yeah. It was so cute. He learned at a young age. And then soon after that was Animal Crossing. So there is this like healing and returning to childhood, especially in moments of now like chaos and it was super helpful for me, and I feel like helpful even for him. Like he was little, but I think the energy
Mhm.
still, and the joy from gaming, and he loves it now. He's addicted.
Well, firstly, I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say glad that your little one is doing
Yeah,
better. And
yeah.
also, super positive kudos to you, Mama Bear, for passing along a joy
Mhm, mhm,
versus a lot of people's parents look at gaming as "Ugh,
mhm.
that thing. Why don't you get a real job? Why don't you do something real? Why don't you? Why
That
don't you? But I think
yeah.
if they stop to realize, like, I'm saying this to you because I have lost my connective tissue to any childlike joy or anything that
Mhm,
brings me joy that I do, regardless of what bill I have to pay or regardless of what job I have to go to. I tell my
mhm,
therapist the same thing. I probably should cut back on streaming because my bandwidth is overloaded. But
Mhm.
I enjoy it. I enjoy letting my
yeah.
brain just do what it does. And these
Mhm.
games allow us to do that. Shell or Zombie, do you want to go next with the character that connected for y'all in a game?
Yeah, I can go.
Zombie's
So this may
like,
sound weird. So, actually, it's a character in Stardew Valley. Her name's Leah, and she's like the creative, off doing her own thing outside of town. you know, the balance of needing like solitude but still wanting to share work with the world. And I feel like I get that because like I like my quietness, but I also am in this era of sharing more of me and what I love to do and
Mm.
my joy, basically. And that's like the scary part. Sorry, something like kind of flew my eye. But
You can
but
cry.
like her
Don't pretend
no.
you ain't got a tear.
Oh, there was like actual dirt. I don't know what that was. But yeah, like her occupation is like pretty much an artist. And like I befriend her a lot, like secretly. Like I don't really tell people that I actually befriend her because I'm, we're trying to romance like someone to like marry after we like make the money, things like that in there. Like, so but with her, I always like try to be friends with her because I love her backstory. She left the city behind to live in Pelican Town. She does mention leaving her ex behind and choosing a quieter life. Like it just resonates with me so much, really. And I think I love the fact that there is a spoiler where there's like where how many hearts you get with her. She chooses to like stand up for herself, basically, like,
Mm.
things like against her ex. So it was like, dang, that's actually powerful. But like I never really mention her when I'm playing with people or things like that. I just like secretly like she's my secret friend on the
Yeah.
Mhm.
side. Like I just want to keep her there because like she resonates with me.
Aw.
So that's my connection with her. So yeah, I always like Leah.
Mm. I love
That's so
that.
sweet.
I think we
Yeah.
can sometimes forget how, especially with smaller games that are not maybe AAA, but even some AAA might have that in there. Like the
Mhm,
humanness that comes from the
mhm,
developer and the team and
Mhm.
the writers, because
mhm.
hello, well, aside from AI freaking games, a real human made this. So,
Well, yeah.
like, there had to
Yeah.
been a reason that there was a thought to consider that
Mhm,
character arc or backstory for that particular character in Stardew Valley, because most farm sim games don't really go that deep.
mhm.
And
Mhm.
in each of our examples, the expectation, and I'm sure Zombies, yours is going to have this connective tissue too. The expectation is probably an adult that is playing this game that can
Mhm.
see these things. Like as
Mhm.
children, for
Mhm.
example, with SpongeBob, never really picked up on the adult innuendos when I was watching it
Yeah.
back in the day. But now as an adult, I'm like, what the hell, SpongeBob? As adults, we
Mhm.
can see these connective pieces that make us stop and think. And I think that's the most important thing when you have a game outside of like a first person shooter, which no hate to y'all FPS is out there, but it don't take too much thinking to shoot at something, just saying. But to really
Well,
critically think about the layers is what I'm saying. They're layered.
That's fucking insane, bro.
Don't you get
Yeah.
started on me, Bill. Don't
I
you get
will.
started.
I already
Yeah.
hear the comments. What do you mean? Guys, we know it takes skill, but you use a different part of your brain meat. It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's okay.
It's a
I'm
different part.
talking
Yeah.
emotions. I'm talking
Yeah.
emotions, yeah?
Mhm. I've
But
got
please.
to mention one thing about the one of the dialogues. One of her dialogues was sometimes wonder if like pursuing the art profession was like just a waste of
Mm.
time. Like, what's the point of even if no
Mm,
one likes my art? And so I'm like, oh my god, I'm going
mm,
through that struggle right now. Like, there's things I'm planning to put out. But I'm like, what is the point of it if no one will even like it or things like that? Like even the
mm.
things that I've been doing, like traveling, like what's the point of this? Like why did I leave to try to feel to live instead of existing when I'm still going through these struggles? Like, so
Yeah.
that's one dialogue that like always stuck with me. Like I'm like, yeah, I get it, girl. Trust me, I get it. So mhm.
It's definitely giving that the creator of Stardew Valley tapped into some personal relationships and maybe without
Mhm,
using names, put in
mhm,
some of the dialogue or experiences they've had with that person or even themselves. Like, why would I
mhm,
create if no one's gonna pay
mhm.
attention? But to you, Shell, I was saying anybody else feeling that way, man, F them people. Because most people who hate on you for trying to do something are upset because they won't try themselves with whatever they want to do,
Mhm.
or they
Mhm,
completely lack imagination and they're upset that you
Mhm.
have any to be creative. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who just literally their life is black and white. They have no
Mhm.
colors at all. That's crazy
Yeah.
to me, but that's another
Yeah.
topic for another day. Zambe, please, friend, tell us what character connected to you the most.
So we're gonna talk about we're gonna head on back to and I'm gonna talk about this one a bit today, but date everything.
Mm.
So just so we all know, my number one, because I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea, is Phoenicia, a beautiful, thick black woman with a shaved head is everything.
Mm.
However, the one that I connect with the most is Betty, the bed. Betty is a sensual being that really, as you talk to her, she opens up and talks about her loneliness. She talks about her actual like wants and dreams, and she like really gets vulnerable with you.
Mm.
In and I feel like yes, Betty was supposed to be like this vixen character. She's supposed to come in and kind of like seduce the character to she's the bed, okay? Like enough said. But
We
there
like
are
our beds.
more layers to her, and I love that. Like she's like I was expecting to not like her as much. I was like, oh, she's just going to be just like this flirty sexual being, and there's not going to be much depth to her. But literally by like I think like the second or third conversation, you really get to see her struggles. You get to like start getting to know her more. And
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot more to Betty than meets the eye when you first talk to her. Which is for a lot of the characters, but Betty, I don't know. I see a lot of myself in Betty, and like yeah, she's got a special place in my heart. She is my number 2 if I had to rank the 100 characters, because no one's going to pass Phoenicia. I don't care.
I feel like with a bed as the context of identity for Betty, there's an opportunity for everyone to be hypersexualizing her as well, because the assumption of like intercourse takes place on a bed all the time, which, you know, for those 18 plus, we know that's not true. But I do appreciate how your experience with date everything and identifying the characters you're most connected to actually makes me want to go learn more about Betty and actually be able to get to dating her as soon as
Mhm.
possible so I can see what my feelings are like with her. And that makes me feel like she must be really stand out of all the hundreds of things you can date in that game. It's a beautiful thing to be like, I could vibe with her. Me and Betty would be in a friend group for sure. We wouldn't be frenemies. We wouldn't be frenemies. And I love things like that. So thank you for illuminating it more for me, because I've mainly seen people being, you know, all like ooh ah wah wah type vibes with
Yeah.
the character they're on screen with for their clips from TikTok and Twitch and so forth. But that actually makes me feel like, yeah, let me pull up some popcorn and some wine with you, Betty, because you deserve the world, queen. You deserve the
Yes.
world.
And like, and I hate that because yes, that is obviously supposed to be, you know, flirty, and you're having these extreme like like big moments with everyone. But like I would love to see people like actually starting to show some of the more like tough conversations with these, because
Nuances.
there are actually a lot of like this is not a singular level like, oh, we're just gonna flirt and then it is what it is. Like these characters actually have depth. They actually have problems that you have to solve. they actually have like hopes, dreams, like they like the characters actually are multi-dimensional characters. And I hate that it's kind of just shown like, oh, look at the vacuum, he's so hot. It's like, but tell us more about like, tell us about the fight that the washer and dryer are having. Like, you know, it's anyone who's played the game or plans to play the game, you'll see it. There's a lot more to it, and like this game has like infinite hours of gameplay because you have to get through all 100, and then if you have the DLC 102, and be either their friend, their lover, or their enemy.
It feels like we each had something with each character we've shared, where hopefully the developer's goal was to get people to think deeper. Like with me and Mills, it was like, oh, this character looks rad. This is cool. Yeah. But there's deeper context in both of ours. And then with Shell and Zombies, like with Shell especially, oh, you could probably be like, oh, that's sad for her. Oh, I hope it gets better. But no, like there's deeper levels to that to unpack and maybe visit that for yourself. And with what you're saying, Zombie, like, yeah, cool. We could date everything. Ooh, it's sexy. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, this is so funny that they're so flirtatious. But what are the real dynamics in a relationship that are coming out through the gameplay if you actually take the time to think of it that way and think through the options that come up through the game? And I think that's important in today when critical thinking is at an all-time low. People have stopped learning how to process emotion or express emotion in healthy ways or at all. I know we're getting close to the end of your time with us, listeners, as well as viewers. You know, make sure you're around. Make sure you show the love before we end today, though. We're going to close out talking about an emotional support game, a game that we go to when real life is just too much, baby. I got to shut everything off. I got to put me first, Lucius. I got to put me first, okay? I will start. This should be no surprise to anyone because it's in my name, Simmer Things. The game that I go to, of all of the RPGs that I love, that I can absolutely play, would in this case would be The Sims 4. And not for gameplay, like storytelling and gameplay. I actually, and if you come to any of my streams, I talk a lot about mental health, my life as this 40-year-old trying to figure shit out, getting financially stable again. I will literally sit and just do decor and a build. I will sit there and I will just have whatever music on. I'll probably be crying the whole time, or just like my brain is processing things that I'm dealing with that day or still dealing with, or maybe what I've learned from a recent therapy session or some shit that upset me, but I'm trying to like, okay, don't ruminate. Let's get this out some way. And I end up decorating the most beautiful lots. Like hands down. And I tell myself at the end, I'm like, I should have been an interior decorator. But it always makes me feel so good. And for people who found me when I'm on my YouTube doing these streams with no audio, no mic, all you are seeing is me putting decor into a build. Please understand that's what that stream is. Please don't come in there talking about, why can't I hear you? Where's the music? Girl, I'm going through it. Can you just enjoy the decor? Because I'm going through it. I ain't finna talk to you. You're lucky I put a stream together. This is me getting my clocking in, getting my stream time. So that these algorithms bring y'all back when you get your funny story and haha improv and she's so crazy, it's so wild. No, sometimes I just want to sit and feel my fucking feelings. And the best way I can do that is in a build with decor and starting from scratch with an idea in mind for the character that I'm doing that decor for in my particular Let's Play. So that's mine for an emotional support game, for real. I can do chaos, but that's my like, for real, I need this time. And my brain can just think and let it out or process things. What about any of you?
Yeah, I also enjoy Sims building. I do, and I prefer doing it alone because on stream I get distracted by chat. But that's how I fell in love with The Sims. Like, I can't remember if I played 1, but I know I played 2. It was building houses in that game, and yeah, it's so soothing. But no, for me, my emotional support game, I feel like it's very obvious. She's tattooed on my wrist there. Hello Kitty Island Adventure is how I get myself to sleep. I am a struggle to fall asleep at night. I'm usually really anxious during the day and overwhelmed, overstimulated. And I get to the room, I get in bed. I know I'm not tired yet, right? Because I can't really just it's like my husband just shuts off. I can't do that. Like if it's been a rough day, especially even though I may feel extremely tired, I can't just shut off and fall asleep. So I get my Switch and I sit there and I play and I do my little quests and I get to see all the cute little characters and the joy and the colors, and that soothes me enough. It gets me to just calm down enough so that I can my body catches up with my mind. Body's tired but the mind's going, right? So then it's enough of a just a little decline, right? And I usually have something on the TV in the background, on a really, really low volume. And I'll sit there and I'll hang out with Hello Kitty and my Melody and Pachaco and get sleepy, actually connect the sleepy and tired and doze off. Sometimes I fall asleep holding it. It definitely happens, but it's been my method the past few months, just using that to fall asleep. My other emotional support, other end of the spectrum, I hold in a lot of anger as a Black woman in this country, and I can't express it the way I want to sometimes. I play Rivals. I go in Rivals and I just kill. And it feels so good. Fortnite too. It just, it's aesthetically pleasing and I rage. I will sometimes put on crazy rock playlists and I'm just pew pew pew, and that it works. It's better I do it that way than go run outside and hit somebody. So
And before anybody tries to judge our girl Meal, please know that I will get into GTA, whatever version, and just drive around hitting people with cars and beating you up and shooting at you, because I too feel like that's the
yeah.
appropriate game to let that out in. We have to
Mhm.
be able to have a way to let things out. And
Mhm.
the most important thing for anyone listening is that you having the awareness that you like to let out your anger in this way in this game is actually healthy, versus you
Mhm.
having no idea why you enjoy doing this and then trying to see in real life if you could do it too. That's
Mhm.
the problem. Connect the
Yeah.
realities.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
please, 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 please. And if you are
Yeah.
having struggles with that, please know that there are people out there willing to help and listen and
Mhm.
support you. I will make sure
Mhm.
that we have details for that in any description location of our podcast, so that those who need someone to have that conversation with you can find that.
Mhm.
Because that part is some serious shit and we want y'all to get the support you need. It can be the, oh, I gotta let this all
Yeah.
out and cry and process my thoughts. And
Mhm.
it could just be, let me come in here and get my rocks off. Who you talking to? Bring. Who you talking to? Bring. What did that TikTok say? Click, boom. Boom. Click,
Yeah.
boom. Boom. So who's next? What's your emotional support game? Don't hold back. Let it out. We won't judge.
No,
We won't judge.
I guess I can choose a quiet one first, I guess. So Minecraft is definitely my emotional support game. I can get lost in that for hours, just building and building. Um, I have a lot of survival uh realms or worlds, I guess you can say. But the creative ones that I don't really share with anybody is my own. I don't have to, dig for any tree bark or anything like that. I could just build, and half the time I'm shocked by the time I'm done. And when I say I'm in hours, I mean sometimes in hours where I have to have an alarm for myself to eat, to get up, to stretch, because I will be on there and I will build, build, build until I can't build anymore, especially if I'm frustrated with something. Or especially if I'm feeling like some type of creative burnout. So I'll just build whatever, even if it's just something crappy. Um, I love going. I even love building for others. People send me like ideas all the time. For example, Sunny B, she sends me things. She's like, "Hey, could you try this?" And I am her sugar mama in the Minecraft, so I will build things for her specifically, and people was like, Does it bug you?" And I was like, "No," because it kind of resonates that, people still need me. And there's a lot of times where I'm in that space where like it's very lonely, especially when you're going from state to state. You're starting over and over again. You don't get to connect anymore. So like online is like the only way I can connect right now, like fully. So Minecraft is definitely like I said, I built cafes, I've built tree houses, I've built mansions. It's not always like the perfect because I'm just not good in geometry. I'm telling y'all now, it's gonna be like a little lopsided sometimes, and I can see it, but sometimes I want to go back and figure out. I was like, you know what? It's my world anyway. No one can see this anyway. But it gives me a whole lot of ideas of what I want to do. I already talked about Diablo 4 being like my other thing where I can just go out and kill sometimes because I just want to. Like I could put my rock music, my alternative music, and I'll
Yes.
just go at it. Like I
Yes,
don't
and never,
care.
Yes.
Like so that's where it's at for me. If I need to get any type of rage out, and there have been many times, and it's things that in my life that I can't control, but it's very frustrating because I love to control things and I love things being like certain plans. So when it's not there, I'm just like, all right, well, I know what I can control right now. Like, so
Yeah.
those are like, I guess my therapy, both of them are. Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing, especially that you got your own private Minecrafts for
Mhm.
yourself. And
Yeah.
that you just like it's like it's almost like a diary for any of us. Like I'm gonna open up my diary,
Mhm.
my digital diary today, and
Mhm.
plug in, and nobody gets to see this. Zombie, what is
Oh,
your
yeah.
emotional support game?
So we're gonna start with the one I go in when people need to steer clear, which is has recently become Naraka Blade Point. Uh
Ooh.
I'm sorry for anyone who was just absolutely obliterated by some newbie that just came out of nowhere and just like ninja'd you and ran away. Possibly literally running into the storm because Naraka Blade Point is basically samurai night, and
Oh,
Mm.
the
okay.
storm closes in on you to
Yeah.
get the area smaller. Sometimes I run directly into the storm because I don't know where I'm going because I'm bad at directions. That's fine. But I did just murk you, your friend, and
Your
that other
mama.
guy over there. And I'm going somewhere. I'll figure it out once I get there. Um, so I'm sorry for all of the people that have come across me in that game. I do apologize. My other one is Animal Crossing, but specifically the
Mhm.
DLC for Happy Home Designer because
Mm.
I love
Mm.
decorating.
Yes.
But The Sims decorating is too hard for me because something about it just doesn't sit right in my brain. But decorating in Animal Crossing, oh yeah. I have restarted
Mhm.
my island just because I got like too far in the Happy Home Designer DLC. Like I was like, "Oh no. I've done for almost every creature. There I have all of like a bunch of them roommating together. Like I was like, no, okay, we're just gonna restart the whole island, which for me is a big deal because I never restart the island. Like I've had the game since launch day. I have
Mm.
restarted the island once.
Mm.
Wow.
So when I made that decision because I got
That's
to
impressive.
like basically the end of Happy Home Designer, I was like,
Mhm.
absolutely not. Go back.
I understand that. I get that.
For real.
I'm too afraid to restart my island. I'm like, I don't want to undo what I
It's
did.
actually not that bad. And on top of that, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna hope that even though I want lots of people to hear this, I don't want lots of people to go and take advantage of it. But you can find both on YouTube and Twitch free treasure islands, so you can get all of the furniture and stuff.
Mhm.
That actually saved me because I love that beginning stage where you just have the tent or the small house, and I go grab all the things I need to decorate and bring it back.
We each have our rage room, like our in-game rage room, where like in real life, where you can go to those rage rooms and just break a ton of stuff.
Yes.
Mhm.
I feel like each of us has our example of that. And then for the everything's positive vibes all the time, or I just want to sit in my feelings. We each had a game for that too. I definitely need to try this. What is it called? Nara.
Naraka?
Yeah, I want to try that because slicing and dicing sounds a lot more fun to me.
Mhm.
And we probably get into something like that for sure.
Absolutely, it's
Hopefully
fun.
y'all connected with some of these, and please let us know in the comments if you have a game that you rage out to or let your rage out through, let's say it that way, and then a game where you're like, I need to process what I'm feeling, I need to have quiet, I need to have stillness. Even if, maybe turn all the lights off and you put on the saddest music. Mine go-to is R&B, 90s R&B, because they be singing their hearts
Yes.
out. And I just be like, and then you can see like furniture switching or shifting in the Sims decor that I'm doing. Oh, let me pick a different swatch. I want to match this. Come here. Like that's me. But whatever it is that you do, please know that it's perfectly healthy to have outlets. Want to be responsible and remind folks that if you're not finding a healthy release, through the games that you play and whichever emotional need or state, it probably could be a really good idea to have someone to talk to that will be supportive as well. Any parting words, folks, before we head on out?
Yeah, I can just to encourage those who may resonate on escaping sometimes. I know there's like maybe family members or friends that don't understand. They're not meant to. They're not in your journey. They're not in your life. They're not you. You know what can help you mentally, but also touch grass. Even if you need to go in the front yard, even in the backyard. I know the air is not great. It smells for some states. It's polluted and for some states, but really getting some sun does help also. So don't sit in your back rooms, attic, basement, wherever you're at, get a little bit of sun, 5 to 10 minutes a day, and then go back into whatever you're doing in your games. That's it.
Much respect, Shell. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think everything in moderation. That's the best part. I also feel like I know for me, I definitely had the friends and family who were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And gaming has brought me to the people who get it. And that in of itself and having like that emotional support now in stream and in Discord has been so helpful. So I encourage people to go out there, do the thing that you love, if it's gaming, right? And play what you want to play too. Don't feel like you have to play certain games. And your people will find you. And then you guys can be together. Like there's so many great gaming communities out there. And I'm really grateful I found it, and it's definitely made things less isolating. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Yay.
Anything you want to share, Zombie, before we head out?
Boo responsibilities. Um, they suck, but we do have to do them. So let's just do them efficiently and move on. And um go play those games, guys. Get into dating sims because They're so good. It's only cringe for like the first 5 seconds, okay? Like the first date. I'll give you the first date. It's only cringe until after the first date. Then you're like, oh, I think I actually like this.
That sounds similar to real life dating, actually.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does. The first pancake rule, throw out the first pancake and just keep going.
My party words to y'all would be tap in some indies, because a lot of indies have some deeply connective emotional storytelling, more so than a lot of AAA games, though we talked at good length about South of Midnight, and I think that that's a great game too, even though I haven't gotten to play it yet. But tap into some indies. Go play some demos on Steam. And if you got the coinage, drop a coin on a full release, because I guarantee there's going to be some deep, lovely, impactful storytelling in some good indies. That would be my parting words to you all. Until next time, bye everyone.